Good afternoon, everyone. So today we're coming back to review how do we do the area model with multiplication. Because with our new unit, we're going into multiplying decimals and whole number. And one of the methods that we're going to use is to multiply decimals or multiply whole number using the area model. So Jaden is going to come and he's going to do a quick review on how we multiply whole numbers using the area model, and then we're going to demonstrate one with multiplying a whole number times a decimal number using the area model as well. So Jaden, would you come please and do a review on how do we multiply using the area model and whole numbers. Jaden? Okay. Jaden, would you show us, please, how would you use the area model to multiply two whole numbers, please?
Alright, well, first I'm going to outline our chart. As you can see, I have the middle line already outlined, but I'm going to do the complete thing so that we can get started with our area model.
Alright. So you're drawing now a rectangle, and you're dividing it into 4 parts. Alright, so would you talk us through as you do what you're doing, please?
Okay. Well, first let's describe why I'm, breaking it into 4 parts. As you know, we have two two-digit numbers that we're going to be multiplying. That's going to be 39 and 23, okay? So that's the reason for 4 parts. When we use our area model, we have 2 numbers at the top and 2 numbers to our left side. So we're going to need 4 boxes so that we can cover all of those numbers and every single product that we get from there. The area model is somewhat of a model that kind of personifies the partial product because, of course, we're going to have 4 products that at the end we add up to get our actual answer. So let me just finish drawing our area model so that we can get started.
All right.
Okay.
So the numbers you're going to multiply today, what are they?
It's going to be 39 and 23.
All right.
And when we're using the area model chart, since we're going to have 4 partial products that at the end we're going to add up to get our actual answer, we're going to break down our numbers.
So you're going to decompose them.
I'm going to decompose them. So at the top, I'll write a 30 and a 9.
Because 39 is our first factor that we are going to multiply.
That's right, and of course 39 is just 30 and 9.
30 plus 9.
Next, since we're multiplying that by 23 on my left side, I'm going to write a 20 right here, and the 3 down here.
So that's 23 decomposed.
That is 23 decomposed.
So, would you put plus sign in the midst so that everyone remembers that we are adding these numbers back to get our full factors that we're dealing? So that's 30 plus 9 and 20 plus 3. So would you put a plus sign in the middle or where your intersection of your rectangle comes together? All right.
I know John is quite sloppy, but since we have 4 parts, in the middle is actually a pretty long addition sign. And it can also just be to, discard all 4 parts. But at the same time, it does work as an addition symbol since we're going to be adding all 4 parts.
Okay. All right, so let's go. How are we going to do this now? We're multiplying 23 times 39.
That's
all right,
right.
Talk us through the process, please.
All right. Now, like I said, we decomposed our numbers 30 and 9 and 20 and 3. So now we're going to multiply those.
Okay.
Let's start off with our 2 biggest numbers. We have 20 and 30.
Okay.
Now, something easy about multiplying numbers that are, that are tens is that, for example, like our problem says, we know that 3 times 2 equals, of course, 6.
6, okay.
So we will write our 6. And then we just have 2 zeros on the end of our numbers.
Okay.
And
so you just multiplied the leading number. 2 times 3 gave you 6.
Right.
But 30 and 20.
Right.
So how do you get that product?
So we're just going to put on our 2 zeros, since we have a 0 from the 20 and a 0 from our 30, to the end of our, our number, which in this case is 6. And that's going to give us 600, which is what 30 times 20 equals.
Okay, so that 6 then turns to 600.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. we'll go to 9 and 20. And we know that 9 times 2 equals, of course, 18.
Okay.
And if we put 18 here and follow our same process, if we just added the 0 to the end of our number, we would get 180, which is, of course, what 9 times 20 is.
9 times 20 is 180. Okay.
Moving on, we're going to go to our, our 1's multiplier. We've already done our 9, we have to go to our 3. So we come down here, we have 30 and 3. Now, of course, 3 times 3 equals just 9. So we write our 9. But since 30 has a 0 in it, we have to add that 0 to the end of our 9.
So 30 times 3 equals 90.
That's very correct. We put that there, and we're done with this part. And we only have one part to go. Afterwards, we're going to be adding up all of our parts so we can see what our actual answer is.
Okay.
Now, 9 times 3. We don't have any zeros, so that this, not so that, but this answer is going to be our final answer. We won't have to add any zeros at the end.
Okay. Because they don't have zeros on them.
Because
3 doesn't have a 0, and 9 doesn't have a 0.
Correct.
So 3 times 9 is?
27.
Okay. So you just want to put the whole 27 in the final box.
Right, and we don't have to add anything because we have those zeros. These are both just 1s.
Alright.
So I'll put our 27 there. And now, we have a part that is 600, we have a part that is 180, we have a part that is 90, and we have a part that is 27. Okay. Now, since we see this here, on the outside, we could just add it up. Using standard algorithm, you can add it up horizontally. I'm going to be adding up using the standard algorithm, which is, of course, vertically. And then I'll show you how this relates to the standard algorithm multiplication.
Okay, so you're going to add 600 plus 180 plus 90 plus 27.
Right.
All right, so you're going to just make an addition problem. Okay, so add those 4 add-ins together. All right. $600, 180,
180, 90, and 27.
Well, should that 90 go there, or should that 90 go under the 80?
It should go under the 80. I kind of messed up there. But we still know that there's only 1 0, so I'll just be careful. Alright. We always want to start out with our 1s, and of course we have a 7 and just zeros. So we'll put a 7 in our 1s place. We come to our 10s place, we have a 2. We also have a 9, it's in the wrong place, but we only have 1 0, so we know that that is a 10. We have a 2, we have a 9, we have an 8. Now, what you can add is the 2 and the 8, which is going to give you 10, and you just have a 9 left over. So we'll write our 9 down here, but that 10 will not go in our 10s place because, of course, it is more than 10. Instead, we'll put it in our 100s place.
So when you add it, 9 plus 8 plus 2, it gave you 19.
Right.
Okay, so you wrote the 9 and you carried the 1 to the hundreds position. All right, so now what are you going to add?
Now, since we're going to our 100 position, we're going to add our 6 to our 1 to our 1, another 1 that we got from our 10th place. And of course, 9 is written in the wrong place, but it's supposed to be a 10, so that is 90, not 900.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we know that 6 plus 7 is, of course, 6 plus 1 is, of course, 7. But when we add that other 1, we're going to get 8. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So put our 8 there.
So let's put that on the other side and let's see. Let's see, can we rewrite this problem and add it so that everybody can see what we have. So we have 600. Let's add it with the 9 being in the correct position so that it doesn't confuse anyone when they look back at the video. So would you rewrite it in correct position for 9 so that it's not confusing to everyone else? Or just write it on the back and let's see if you do the same thing all over. So everyone can see exactly what happened and not mistakenly think that that 9 is in that hundreds position.
So I just write that right here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, of course, we're just going to add our products again, but I'll put the 9 in its correct space.
Okay. So now we're going to just re-add, and we're going to get 7 in the ones position.
Of course, we have 7 there.
And then we're going to add 8 plus 9 plus 2, and we're going to get 19.
Right. So we have a 9 in our tens place, of course, and 1 that will go to our hundreds place.
And then we're going to add 1 plus 6 plus 1, and we're going to get 8. Now, that's using the area model.
Right.
Is there another way that you could say that this could be done? All right. Would you show the other way over on the left side of your paper?
Yes.
Is that enough space to show the other way that you could multiply 39 and 23? All right. Would you demonstrate that?
Alright, so our other strategy can be called the standard algorithm. It can also be called our partial product.
Okay.
And the reason it can be called our partial product is, of course, we have 4 products that we're going to be adding up. And the way that we're going to do that with our partial product or standard algorithm, sometimes people call it that, but it's mostly known as the partial product, is we're just going to multiply it vertically and add it up the same way.
All right. So you have 39 and you're multiplying that by 23.
Right.
Okay.
So it will start out to look the same way, and then we'll just multiply our numbers as we go. It'll go down here, and then we'll have our answer.
All right, can we just walk through it step by step? So what would you do first?
Well, first we will multiply, 39 by our bottom number. So of course we're going to start with the 3 since it's send our ones place from there first. We got 9 and 3. Of course that equals 27.
Okay.
We got 30 and 3, which of course equals 90.
Okay.
And since these are just 2-digit numbers, we're going to move to our tens place.
Okay, so now what are you going to multiply?
Well, we got 9 and we've got our 20. And like we did here, we know that 9 and 2 equals 18. But since 20 is, of course, a 2-digit number, it has 0 at the end, which we'll just add to 18, which is, of course, going to give us 108.
Okay, so your next product is going to be 180.
Which will be written like that.
All right. And now you're going to multiply the 3 and the 2, which is 30 times 20.
Right.
Go ahead.
And like the same thing, of course, it's 3 times 2, which gives us 6, but both of these have zeros, which is, of course, going to give us 600, like it did in our area.
All right, so now you're going to add them together.
Yep. Now I'm just going to add them together just like we did over here.
So your ones, you're going to get 7.
I'm going to get 7.
Your tens is going to give you...
Well, we have to add 2, 8, and 9, which is, of course, going to give me 19. So I'll put that 9 in our tens place and put a 1 in our hundreds place since we do have the tens from our tens place, which is, of course, 100. And now I'll just add my hundreds up. Of course, we have 6 plus 1, which gives me 7, plus another 1, which is going to give me 800.
9 and 7. All right, so either way you do it, using the area model or the standard algorithm, you came up with the same answer.
That's correct.
So how do you think, what do you think we could do with decimal numbers? So we're going to use the same area model, and we're going to change one of our factors into a decimal number times a whole number. What do you think is going to be different in our product? How do you think, where do you think the decimal point would go in the product? So we're going to come back in a few and we're going to show you. Same method using decimal number. So we'll be back shortly.